Let's talk about some unique ways to evade defenders on your two steps so you can keep the basketball protected, get a good clean shot off, possibly fake your defender off. And these are also really good for picking up foul calls. Coach Jesse Muench with Get Handles Basketball, where we train harder and smarter so you can play like the pros. If that's something you're looking to do, make sure you subscribe and click the bell icon so you can catch the newest videos. I'm gonna link to you at the end of this video a way to work on something that will add into this really, really well, as far as different ways to grip the basketball and be strong with it, keep it from getting knocked around. These are gonna be more evasive type maneuvers you can do to kind of fake out your defender or keep the ball away from your defender, or possibly pick up foul calls, kind of like guys like James Harden do. Curry does it somewhat, Kyrie does it pretty well. So the first one is gonna be to simply do a one-arm finish. Big key you wanna pay attention to is that you're keeping the ball away from the defender. Because if you don't keep the ball away from the defender and you got it more here and you don't have a good grip on it, like I'm gonna link you how to do at the end of the video, the defender, boom, can knock the ball away pretty easily, especially if it's just in one hand. So the key is, if you're gonna do this one hand, you gotta master your control over it and you gotta keep the ball extended away from the defender. So if the defender's here, extending here is not a good option, right? I wanna have it extended here. Always keep in mind, defender, body, basketball in a straight line. We want that order. If we have it here, now it's more like defender, basketball, body. That's not what we're looking to do. So you could have it out here, you could have it out here. Both are pretty good options. And then from there, extending past them or keeping the ball here to finish out wide. Next one might sound weird, it's the opposite hand gather. So if you think about it, normally you wouldn't want to gather the basketball with the opposite hand because you're putting the basketball right where the defender is. This is going to be good for very certain situations. Things sort of like the Euro step, it's kind of got a similar effect to that, but it's a little bit different. So this is going to be, as you're picking up the basketball, you're coming more directly towards your defender and you want to kind of fake them out a little bit. So you could step here and then pick the basketball up with the opposite hand. The other thing you can do with this is do it as a way to get this leg through, okay? So as you'll notice, I'm dropping the basketball straight down. I can either jab step out this way to get them to try to shift this way and then come this way, or I can simply drop it down, and instead of stepping with this foot out here, I can step here to protect the basketball from my defender. So two ways to go about it, but the idea is that you're switching hands to either sell the fake or protect the basketball. Pretty simple thing to pick up, but like all these, I would highly recommend you practice them. So all you really need to do is work on doing them to the basket. The hand switch. This is a really sneaky, crafty way of throwing your defender's timing and positioning off. There's a lot of different ways you can use it actually though. And it's similar to the last one because we switched hands, but the last one we switched hands off the dribble. This one we're gonna pick up the basketball and this hand switch is gonna happen on our two steps. So a couple different ways you can use this. The more common way would be if you're coming at your defender on this left side with the left hand, okay, they think you're gonna go this way, so they cut you off. Boom, you just switch hands and come to this side, and now you get a nice easy layup. That's the more common, basic way. A couple other ways you could do it that some more advanced type finishers are using, and you could definitely get these down very quickly, would be some guys will actually show the basketball here with the opposite hand to bait the defender to go for it so they can continue to come here for the layup on this side. So when the defender swipes for it, boom, switch hands. You might get a foul call on that if they hit your arm when you're switching hands, or you'll get them jumping at air and you get a nice easy layup. Another way you'll see guys do it is with this wide one hand gather that we talked about before, and then you can use it to switch hands to come for a reverse layup or throw your defender's positioning off because they think you're gonna finish here and finish here. You could also do that coming more directly to them, make them think you're gonna finish here, and then switch hands in the air a little bit more. From that last step, you're gonna come here, switch hands, and then go out for that layup. So a lot of different little ways you can go about doing that. You could also do it as sort of like a ball fake, pass type of thing. The next one you'll want to work on is the high or the swim finish. Now, a lot of this comes down to the setup. Technically, this defender's probably arms are a little bit too high for where I would want to do this, but the idea is that you set them up by having the ball down low and you see them thinking about going for the basketball, or bare minimum, at least crouching your body down low so they're not ready to see this coming. And all you're gonna do is either come from one hand to the other over the top of them, or keep both hands high to come over the top of them. The first, you're kind of doing a hand switch. The second, you're just keeping it up high, maybe over here. Or you could even do this in a way where you're just keeping the ball up high. James Harden will do this a lot, Kyrie too, and they'll keep it up here and they'll kind of wave it around as a way to sort of bait the defender to go for the basketball. And as soon as they go for the basketball, they move their arms. Defender hits their arms instead of the basketball because you change your positioning. You could pick up the foul call, extend, and finish with that one hand. Leave me a comment though. Let me know who you think's better at doing this type of thing, James Harden or Kyrie Irving. Next one is one that guys like Kyrie, Curry, Chris Paul, James Harden, they all use this as a way to finish around the rim, keep the ball protected, but also, again, pick up foul calls. And it's similar to high, but it's low. Just keeping the ball down low here where it's harder for defenders to get at. And a lot of times if a defender goes to swipe at the basketball when you're holding it down here, you can just move the ball up, and as you're moving up, that defender's gonna hit your arm. A lot of times you're gonna get a foul call. So all you want to do is focus on keeping it down here, maneuvering it around a little bit if you need to, evade around defenders and kind of weave your way between defenders in the paint. And then the other thing I really like to do with this a lot of times is extend from here more down low and further forward so you can kind of try to finish past your defender instead of trying to finish over them. A lot of times if you're having a hard time finishing over those bigger defenders, probably because you're trying to finish over them. It's much easier to finish past them because you're usually going to be quicker than them. Extending out is going to be a better way to take advantage of that. Okay, this is the final way to evade your defenders and keep the ball away from them, pick up foul calls. And then after that, I'm gonna link you to the video that you've probably been waiting for, the one where I'm gonna show you how to protect the basketball with different types of grips and how to hold the basketball so you can be strong with it and not get it knocked away from you. So this last one is gonna be just two hands and extending it wide, okay? Thinking about keeping it wide away from the defender, but there's also another way you can use this. Since you have the basketball in two hands, it's a little bit harder for it to get knocked around on you, right? Well, you could also extend it towards the defender to either bait them to go for the basketball, again, pick up a foul call by pulling the ball up into their arms as they swipe down into it. You could also use this to fake a pass. You could fake like you're gonna come this way and go into a Euro step, right, to evade them. A lot of different things you can do with it on that side of things if you go towards the defender, or good old simple, just holding it away from them is going to be great to be a little bit stronger with the basketball while still being evasive if you know that defender's a little bit bigger than you. So you can kind of create a little contact with them, keep the ball away, and then get a nice clean finish. So that other YouTube video to help you protect the basketball, different ways to be strong with it, different ways to grip it. It's right here, just click that. That's gonna help you a ton, I'm sure of it. So I'll see you in that next video. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe and click that bell icon to catch the newest videos, and click that like button if this video helped you. I'll see you in this video.